They say money speaks the loudest end, so someone with dignity decides to answer back. When a billionaire humiliated a young black waitress in front of a crowded restaurant, he thought it would end in silence. But her one-sentence reply stopped everyone cold and changed everything. It was a bustling Friday lunch at La Maison Brilliance, an upscale restaurant in downtown New York. The type of place where suits outnumber smiles and everything came with a price tag. Danica Rivers, 26, had only been working there for 2 weeks. Smart, composed, and always polite. She handled pressure like a pro thanks to years of working her way through college while caring for her little brother back home. She was serving a table of high-profile businessmen and women when Maxwell Grant, billionaire hedge fund CEO, known for his ego snapped. Danica had simply asked if he was ready to order, but he wasn't, and instead of saying no, he stood up, slammed his glass down, and exploded. "You people can't even follow basic instructions. Do I look ready to you?" he roared, pointing a finger right in her face. The entire restaurant went silent. Forks paused mid-air. Customers stared. Danica's hands trembled, but her eyes held still. She took a breath, and then came the sentence that changed everything. Danica didn't flinch. She didn't raise her voice. She simply said, "Power is loud when it's scared. Respect is quiet when it's earned." The words echoed through the glass and marble like thunder. Maxwell blinked. The fire in his face faded, confused by the composure of the woman he tried to shame. People at nearby tables started whispering. One older woman actually nodded in approval. Another man muttered, "She's right." Danica stood for a moment longer, then turned and calmly walked away to check on another table as if nothing had happened. But something had. What Danica didn't know was that someone at a corner table had recorded the entire exchange on their phone. Within hours, the video hit social media with the caption, "Billionaire loses it. Waitress replies like a queen by midnight." It had over 2 million views. Comments poured in. "She held more class in one sentence than he ever had in billions. Who is this woman? Get her a TED Talk." Danica didn't even know it had gone viral. She was home, washing her only work uniform, while trying to help her brother study for his math test. The next morning, she walked into the restaurant to find a crowd outside, not customers, but reporters. The manager called her into his office. Danica feared the worst. She thought she'd be fired for embarrassing a high-profile guest. Instead, the manager shut the door and smiled. "We've received 17 job offers for you," he said, sliding a stack of emails across the desk. "One of them is from the Rising Equity Group. They want to meet you in person." Danica blinked in disbelief. "And there's more," he added. "Mr. Grant sent a formal apology. He wants to talk to you directly." Danica took a long pause before answering. "Tell him I appreciate the apology, but I don't need to hear it. I just want to move forward with dignity." Later that week, she was interviewed by several national media outlets, not as a waitress, but as a voice of quiet power, grace, and modern courage. When asked what made her speak that sentence in the moment, she simply said, "My mother taught me when you carry truth, you don't have to shout." Within 2 months, Danica was hired as a communications consultant at Rising Equity Group with full sponsorship to complete her graduate degree. Her story was turned into a feature in Forbes and Essence magazine titled "The Sentence Heard Around the Boardroom." Maxwell Grant. He publicly pledged to fund mentorship programs for young women of color entering the business world, led by none other than Danica herself. But she didn't take the spotlight for fame or revenge. She kept her quiet, steady pace. She bought her little brother his first computer. She moved her family into a better home. And every time someone asked how she managed to stay calm that day, she smiled and said, "When you know who you are, no one else can tell you what you're worth." In a world full of noise, it's not always the loudest voice that wins, it's the one that speaks from strength, from truth, and from grace. This was Danica's moment. And this is Lifelines, where real stories prove that no matter where you start, your voice matters more than gold.